Beautiful.
Living the vision. Wow, what a weekend we've had. Yesterday, a group of about 20 people came together to co-create a vision and mission and core values for this community. Roy Oswald, a professor at Duke University who was a ministry consultant, said there's nothing more potent than a group of people who hold a vision in common. There's nothing more potent than a group of people who hold a vision in common. And that's what we came together to do yesterday, to co-create a new vision, mission, core values, to move this community into the next phase of its conscious evolution, to be on purpose with our spirituality. And when we're on purpose, things fall into place. Resources show up right under your nose. Carl Jung called this synchronicity. I now call it synchro-divinity. Synchro-divinity, where the universe is collaborating with clear intention to fulfill your intentions. And that's what happened yesterday. It was really, really exciting. We are in a time now where we are called to live a higher vision, to be enwrapped, I would say, in not only a higher vision, but to live this vision as an expression of light, so that everywhere we go, by virtue of our presence, just our presence shifts energy. And there's a lot of negativity that needs lifted into the light. This is our job. This is why we're here. We're called to be. I say playtime is over. We're called to be, and that takes a lot of pulling forth from us as we live a new and higher vision. As I was sitting down here, I eavesdropped on somebody just a few minutes ago coming in and saying, well, I got so excited from yesterday, I went home and wrote my own vision and mission. Guess what? That's what we're all supposed to do. I hope you all do that. After you hear the vision and mission that this church is holding, I hope you all go home and really think about what's your personal vision and mission. I literally got my personal mission 35 years ago at an Edwin Gaines workshop. And it came so clear, it was like that. And I heard the words. It came from my heart, my soul, my being. And it said, I am a midwife for the birthing of the soul's remembrance. I am a midwife for the birthing of the soul's remembrance. And in that moment, I knew that that is who I was, and that was what I was to do. And everything I've done in those last 35 years, I've weighed against that mission in my life. But you know, they talk about it takes a village. So what I'd like to do is just introduce, or at least have stand up, everybody who was there yesterday. Please stand up, because this is a team. This was a team effort. And it was these people, this critical mass who stood as the consciousness for calling forth the next phase of evolution that we will all live into. So thank you. Let's give them a hand. It used to be, when vision, mission, and core values were done, that the board would go into a room, sit all by themselves, come up with a vision and mission, and then come out and say to you, the people, oh, here's your vision and mission, isn't it sweet? But what we found over the years, and I was the national director for the ministry consultant team who created the best standards of practice for ministry. So this was all part of our charge, was to create something new around vision mission, was to take it to the grassroots, to invite the people to be a part of it. And what I found out, because I've done at least 100 of these, what I found out is you really only need a critical mass to show up. And when the critical mass shows up, it will become embedded within the fabric of the consciousness of the people within the community. So it's what I also know is these moments. These are choice point moments. These moments of when all these people come together. And they can be, I've done really difficult ones where it was like pulling the energy out of the people to get the work done. Yesterday was done with such grace and ease. I have to tell you, it was, I'll use the word brilliant. Brilliant. I had nothing to do with that, but it was brilliant. What came out of these people was absolutely brilliant in regards to the grace and ease and just how they see this community. So these choice point moments come up in our life. And so we're here today, and this is a choice point moment for you. Because when you came in, you should have gotten a piece of paper that looked like this. And we don't have to take it out yet, but I just want to make sure everybody has one. If you don't, just raise your hand. They'll bring you one. Because we want your input. Now, what you don't know is what happened in that room yesterday. And there were all kind of ideas flying and brought up and brought forth, and we did chunking and rolling and wrapped things into this and wrapped things into that. So that as we go through this today, know that there's a lot of background work, but you are going to be asked to give your input. The thing of it is, why are we here? Why do we show up every Sunday? Really ask yourself that question. Because I asked them that question yesterday. And there was such clarity in the room that we're here for soul growth. We're here for soul growth. But isn't it interesting that often when we know we're here for soul growth, that when we ask people to change, they'll say, oh no, we can't do that. Oh no, that's a sacred cow. But we didn't have any of that yesterday. We were like really ready to move forward into something new. But we were really clear that we were ready, this group was ready for the next phase of conscious evolution. And Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, spoke of spiritual vision. And he said, seeing God as the foundation of all, the source of all, and the substance of all, seeing the good, the true, the beautiful everywhere, in this manner is the eye single and vision perfected. And that's what happened yesterday. We were really single-eyed focus. We were there to do core values. We were there to do vision and mission, and nobody took us off track. It was really a beautiful, brilliant experience. And Mr. Fillmore also said, life is an ever-progressive, ever-upward spiral of conscious evolution. If we don't have change, we go into stagnation. And if anything becomes stagnant, if a system becomes stagnant, what happens? It dies. It dies. An ecosystem will die if it's in stagnation. And in the Bible, we read, where there is no vision, the people perish. Or if a vision has stayed too long. And that's why we really do try to do vision and mission every 3 to 5 years, because you've already lived this vision. You've lived into it, and now it's time for something fresh. So that master teacher, Jesus, had a vision and mission. And his vision was global. Global. It was big. And I see his vision as sharing with the world, the kingdom of heaven is within. The kingdom of heaven is within. And when you know that, when you understand that good news, that the kingdom of heaven is within, then you live from freedom. There's nothing to be afraid of. Nobody can take anything from you, because when you know the kingdom of heaven is within, you even understand eternal life. Eternal life. And so this kingdom within became his mission, his vision, and his mission was simple. His mission was, these things I do, you can do also. Because when you know the kingdom of heaven is within and you live that vision, then the mission of these things I do, you can do also, get expressed through you. And we find in Luke 4 and Matthew also that Jesus was given his mission in the temple. And his mission was, through the power of Spirit in you, you are to preach the gospel, be a living example. You are to heal the sick. And you say, well, I don't know if I have any power to heal the sick. And I say, if you've ever sat with somebody who was sick and you brought them comfort, you were part of a healing process. His mission was to bring sight to the blind. And they go, oh my God, I'd never be able to bring sight to the blind. But if you ever sat with somebody who was hurting and you said a word of truth, and in that moment they caught a vision of something they could do, you restored sight to the blind. And that's what we are to do. We are to raise the dead, raise those dead aspects of ourselves so that we can be living expressions. So Jesus left this legacy of a vision and mission. And now we're going to be sharing the legacy of this vision and mission that you will live for the next 3 to 5 years. We're going to start with core values. We started with core values, and I asked them, don't think about embedded values. Don't think about what's already in your church, ministry, whatever. Think about, what are the aspiring values that you want to see? And I actually went through them in the meditation. And what came out as values that you will live through for these next 3 to 5 years? And there's going to be a team that's going to define these values for your ministry. They're going to create one sentence of what the word means for your ministry. And they're going to create 3 actions that you can do as an individual to express the value in this ministry. So the core values, the Unity of New Braunfels core values are integrity, compassion, transparency, intention, freedom. Breathe those in. Take a deep breath, breathe them in. And then say with me from the top, together, Unity of New Braunfels core values: integrity, compassion, transparency, intention, freedom. And now, let's just say the core values with I am. I am integrity. I am compassion. I am transparency. I am intention. I am freedom. And breathe it in again. And I'm not going to go through those and define them because you have a team that's going to do that. And they'll be then presented to you by Reverend Gary at some point. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go through the vision and mission. And I want to go through them word by word because no matter what you think happened yesterday, there was something so much bigger at work. So the vision, we started with a question. And this is the question I posed to them. And it was like, what is the biggest dream, wish, or vision this community can hold for the world? What is the biggest dream, wish, or vision this community can hold for the world? So what are you going to hold for the world? And as we went through all the machinations, here is the statement that the group came up with. We celebrate a spiritually awakened world where everyone lives with inner peace, purpose, and a sense of belonging. Because a vision you celebrate is already done. We already see this for the world. We hold it. And that's different than the mission, because the mission is the work you're going to do to get this, to help the world achieve this. But you're going to hold that this is already done, like you hold an affirmation. But I want to take a moment to metaphysically interpret each word for you so that you see from a metaphysical, mystical perspective how big this vision is. So we, just the word we, means together, together as a collective, greater than any one individual in here, we are working together. Celebrate. We celebrate. It's already done. We're here celebrating that the work is already completed. Spiritually awakened, arising from aligned with Source, aligned with God. Spiritually awakened means that there is an alignment with a higher energy, a higher power, whatever word you want to use, happening in the world, not just in this community, but it starts in each individual, then this community, then the world, where everyone lives. Inner peace, turning within, being, I love the word be. I be inner peace. I don't strive for inner peace. I don't look for inner peace. I don't seek inner peace. I've stopped all that. I be inner peace. And I allow the spaciousness of that inner peace to be who I am everywhere I go. Be. The power of be. So that spiritually awakened world with inner peace. Purpose. That means aligned with spirit, so I know what is mine to do. I'm on purpose. I am so aligned with spirit that I know what is mine to do. And whatever it is that is mine to do, I will do it for the highest and best of all involved. Not just for my own selfish good, but for the highest and best of all involved. And the last piece that came up with your group, which I loved, was and a sense of belonging. I know I matter. I know I belong. Not just being a part of, but I belong in this community. I belong in this world. I belong in this universe. I belong in this cosmos. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. So that I might be an expression of inner peace to show the world as a model, as a role model, what my worth is without any ego involved. I know it. This is what you've created as a vision for this ministry. This metaphysical interpretation. So now I'm going to ask you, will you say this with me together? We celebrate a spiritually awakened world where everyone lives with inner peace, purpose, and a sense of belonging. Breathe that in. Is that something you want to be a part of? Yes. Is that something you want to make happen in this world? Yes. All right, so now we went to mission. And so the mission, once we have our vision statement, we ask a different question. And that question is, if this is our highest vision for the world, how will we as a community uniquely bring this vision to life? How will we bring it to life right here, right now? What is ours to do? And this is the mission statement. We support a wellspring of spiritual growth through education, acceptance, and authentic action as we serve within our church and throughout our community. Breathe that in. It was so beautiful, so beautiful. So again, I want to metaphysically and mystically interpret this for you because, friends, these aren't just words on a page. These are actionable items that you be, that you live. And as you do this, this community takes on the consciousness. So we, again, we've already said that. We means together as one. We support. We We're not helping, we're not fixing. There's a difference. We support, meaning by virtue of my presence, each of us, by virtue of our presence, we support people to see their own answers. We support this idea that people learn to believe in themselves. This one word, support. To believe in themselves. We support a wellspring. I love this word, wellspring. Wellspring means a bountiful source of something. But it also means divine inspiration that is ever flowing. Truth. We support a wellspring, a divine flowing spring of truth that is ever eternal, moving through ourselves and our community. An ever-flowing current of higher consciousness that happens within each one of us, so that everyone may realize their true nature. That really one word, wellspring, holds all that mystically. So when you're saying this, you are talking about currents of energy flowing truth through this community. A wellspring of spiritual growth. Spiritual growth is just not any growth. This is spiritual growth. What is spiritual growth? It's knowing the truth that I am that I am. I am that I am. And when I know that 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 I am that I am, nothing can hold me down. Nothing can stop me. I don't even need a safe place because I am the safe place. And when we can walk around realizing we are the safe space, wow, we can breathe. Because now we have freedom to be all that we want to be. So, a wellspring of spiritual growth. And how are we going to do this? We're going to do it through education. This is more than learning, my friends. This is about the heart. This is about learning through the heart, and it symbolizes illumination. We educate to illuminate. We educate to illuminate. What are we illuminating? Are we illuminating our false, Mr. Fillmore calls it adverse ego? No. We're here to illuminate the divine presence that we are, so that no matter where we go, people feel it, they sense it, they know it. Oh my God, I'm in the presence of somebody special. I sense it by being near them. And I had that experience yesterday with several of you. It's here, it's alive in this community. Through education, awakening to deeper truths and spiritual principles. And then acceptance. Acceptance. Just breathe that word in. Reflects an alignment with divine love and harmony. A unity. But acceptance is also the dissolving of ego separation to embrace all beings, to know they have worth and value. And authentic action. Authentic action. Living in integrity with the one. Now, integrity is one of your core values. But that whole idea of authentic action means living in integrity with the one, so that everything I'm doing is about living from a sense of doing whatever it is I'm doing for the highest good. It has nothing to do with me. It's the highest good for all. What's the highest good for all? And finding that truth and living that truth. The higher self guiding us in everything. A divine purpose rather than a societal expectation. or any fear. Those two words are huge. So that we can serve within our church and throughout our community. And this implies a spiritual realization, an experience that we have these things and we carry it outward into the community. And the self becomes a divine vessel for an experience of energy, vibration, and frequency of source energy everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. So now I would like you to take your paper, and I'm going to give you just 2 minutes or so. And I want you, yes. Oh, okay, she needs a paper. Oh, I forgot to have us say this together. So let us say this together as we get this together. Together, let us say, we support a wellspring of spiritual growth through education, acceptance, and authentic action as we serve within our church and throughout our community. So on both of them, you're going to look at them, you're going to rank them 1 to 10. 8 to 10 really means you really, really, really like it. If there's something you'd like to see changed, just put it on there. It doesn't mean that we will change it because you don't know what we went through yesterday because we did a lot of chunking and rolling and lots of discussion of ideas. But so I just invite you to take a moment. You don't have to do anything with the core values. Just take those 2. And when you're done, just pass it over to the end and we'll have the ushers pick it up so that. Another ministry, as we're bringing this to a close, another ministry consultant whose name is Joel Barker said, vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. Vision with action changes the world. Vision with action changes the world. And when we live this way, knowing that our vision is about putting it into action to change the world, when we become deeply rooted in our core values, when we live with authentic action, when we live divine service with no masks or pretenses, just our soul in motion, doing what is for the highest and best of all, for ourselves and for others, doing the highest and best, so that we can be that living expression without any desire for recognition, but because we do it, because it aligns with an inner truth of how Spirit moves through us, inviting us to bless others, we become living vessels of source energy, pouring out our gifts into this ministry, into this community, and into this world. So as we end this time together, let us know that our work, friends, the work, and this brings tears to my eyes because it's such a living reality for me. Our work is to return again to the source within. Not to the outer, not looking to the outer. There's nothing out there that's going to save you. Our work is to go within, so that we may go forth and be a conduit of source energy to teach, embrace, and act, not as separate beings, but as an awakened expression of divine harmony in motion in the world. God bless you all.